Hey, hi, hello everybody, and welcome back to the Goat Force Gaming channel where we play the roguelikes and the roguelites. Folks, I am happy to be back here with you again with some Below the Stone. This game has been just tremendous to go out and have a nice little adventure in the caves, and that is exactly what we're going to do today. I hope to go even deeper into the earth this time. Now, this is the third video that we've done on the game, and things look a little bit different, don't they? Created some new armor. This is a helmet fashioned out of bones that we found because we had acquired a total of 30. Took some time, but we got there, and we now have a total armor of 20. The defense has gone up quite a bit. We also made some lead gloves and lead shoulders, and so I think we're going to be able to go a little bit further down than we normally do. I think we're on the lookout for a few things. Lead, for sure, would be welcomed because there's some other items that we could fashion out of that. I also made a lead axe, and that's why we're now able to do 8 damage at a time, which is pretty substantial, especially when you're talking about slimes and bats. So these guys are going down a lot easier now. So folks, we're gonna have a nice run out here. And, you know, we're probably gonna talk a little bit about the Thanksgiving meal that was enjoyed. I hope if you were celebrating, I hope you enjoyed yours. We had just a tremendous one. And spoilers, the Popeyes Cajun Turkey was even more epic than imagined. Now that's interesting. Doesn't that look like something's in there? Maybe it's a bug. All right, maybe it's just a bug. It was very good. We ate quite well. The company was just fantastic. And we were actually over at my brother-in-law's parents because my folks are out of town at the moment. And so they took us in, and it was just fantastic. So again, I hope you also had an enjoyable Thanksgiving, got to shut the brain off for a little bit. Maybe you played some video games. Maybe you drank some coffee. I hope both for you. I hope it was just enjoyable time. We get to do it all again on Saturday. We do 2 Thanksgivings every year. If you've hung out here before, you know that. And if you're new here, thanks for being here. If you like rogues, you are in the right place. That's all we play on this channel. All right. I'm gonna keep going down this path that's available to us here. And you'll see we're holding up much better than usual at 97 health. You know, I feel like by now we're usually down a little bit. No worries, we've got plenty of mushrooms to munch on if the health should fall below a certain point. Okay, now this is interesting. Last time around, we picked up some dynamite. And I have not used dynamite before, but I have a feeling that dynamite will help in areas that we cannot blow up. So I'm just gonna, this is first time, I'm just gonna go throw it over there and we're gonna hope for the best. Oh, wow. Hey, it worked. Better than expected. Just get out of the way and go. Just go for it. All right, I like dynamite, turns out. And we can actually create dynamite as well if you've got the right resources, and now seeing how good it is, I think we'll be doing that from time to time, for sure. All right. Yeah, so we normally don't do our Thanksgiving with this family. We're usually at my folks, and so, you know, I didn't know what to expect. I feel like every household has their own staples, you know? Like, Ma, you better make the cheesy potatoes, Ma, right? Yeah, I know we haven't gotten that crossbow yet. That's another thing that we could make for the future. All those arrows we've got. So I wasn't sure what to expect, you know? I had a feeling it was going to be great, but just wasn't sure. I was hoping for some candied yams, and my goodness, they delivered. The gentleman hosting made them with maple syrup and brown sugar, and I'm sure gallons of butter, you know, because butter. Everything's better with butter, right? They were fantastic. Ooh, here's some copper and some fossils. We like all of those things. And then the bug that eats all the ore as well. Sometimes that drops some good stuff. We'll take it. Let's keep going over here. It looks like there's some nice coal being dropped, which you need to fashion a lot of the ingots. All right. So there were some standout dishes per usual. Definitely the yams. They were just tremendous. Hey, here's some copper. We also had cheesy potatoes, and this is like an O'Brien cut potato. If you know, you know. They're kind of cubed. And you load on the butter. You load on the cheese. Oh, hey, look at this. Look at this. We've got a cluster of things here. I think we might just go ahead and use the dynamite because I don't have the type of pick that's required to get the purplies. Yeah, we're gonna go with some dynamite action here, but I want to make sure we've got room to get out of the way. So let's pop it over here, and then let's get the hell out of there. Perfect. I should probably... Okay, it's amethyst. One of the more common gem types. So it's forever amethyst now. It will not be called purplies anymore. Unless you really want it to be called purplies, let us know in the comments if you want it to be called purplies. I'm happy to oblige. Oh, we've got to cave in. We've got to look out here. All right, took 2 hits on the chin, but the armor is really showing up well and doing its thing. So I'm not terribly displeased at all. We're gonna eat a couple of mushrooms here to jockey up the health back to where it was. Now we're all good again. All right. We'll just keep going down this path, I guess, as long as we can here. I should check if these... What are these, stalagmites? Are they dropping it? Oh, look at this guy. All right. You know, we ran into this guy last time, but I got a little bit worried that maybe we were going too far out of our element, but now that we've got the better armor, I'm not as worried. The axe helps as well. So the awesome thing about the cheesy potatoes, aside from them being cheesy potatoes, is that you load the top of the pan with cornflakes. And then you sear those off under the broiler. And the butter and the cornflakes just, well, they do something magical. And it's stellar. They come out like hot molten lava, and it's one of those things like when you're eating pizza where you go, hey, look, I've performed the calculations in my brain, and this is worth it, turns out. And so you just go for it, and you know what, you end up with a burned mouth, but it's all worth it in the end. So I had lots of that. It was great. My mom actually makes the cheesy potatoes. She's responsible for the craze that has spread across the family, and since she was not there, my brother-in-law took it upon himself to make them, and you know what? They delivered in a very, very big way. Uh-oh. All right, let's back up a little bit so we've got room. Watching out for those dark spots. Okay. Perfect. I want to see what's over here. Maybe we'll get lucky with something rare. But we're going to keep going down that path. Especially since we ran into the orc. I'm thinking that we're heading into the deep here. The other thing that delivered was the Popeye's Cajun Turkey. We actually did it in a roaster oven because the oven, as I'm sure you can imagine, there was just no space. Right, we're not going to be able to get this, unfortunately, but we've got a lot of amethyst at this point, so I'm not too concerned. So we put it in the roaster, you know, and it's a little bit of a science experiment. Now, the Popeye's Cajun Turkey, if you haven't done this in the past, and believe me, you really should in the future if you can get your hands on one. All you're doing is reheating them. They're fried, and then they're frozen. And so you thought, and you reheat it to 145. And so, of course, we've got it going in the roaster. You're supposed to put it in the oven, not really knowing, well, how hot and steamy the roaster gets. It's compact. And so we went and gave it a look after some time and quickly determined that it had gotten very hot because the turkey, after about an hour and a half, the turkey registered at 170. And my brother-in-law and I looked at each other and we both had that, oh shit, look in our eyes, you know, like what have we done? We might have just murdered this thing. But on closer inspection, it was still quite juicy, and so we just let it sit for the remainder of time while the other food finished up. And I gotta tell you, I carved the turkey, and I don't normally do that, but there was just a ton of stuff going on, and so I stepped in. Let's go down here a little bit and just see if this opens up or if we're gonna want to pick another path. Sometimes if you go further and further, it opens up into another path that goes on for a while, like the one that we were on for a little bit. And if not, we'll just go in another direction. That's kind of the fun of this game. You know, you never know if you're going to be onto something or not. We're coming into something here. This looks like a decent row to go down. And plus, we can get through this material very quickly with our copper pickaxe. Now, let's go with it a little bit. We'll chase it, see where it goes. A lot of twinkling in the area. I'm going to switch to this pickaxe because we can swing it a lot faster. The copper does a little bit more damage if you're using it in combat. And we're just going to keep heading down here, and let's hope that there's not a cave-in because that could end very poorly. Alright, we've got a little bit of a switch in look here. I don't know if that means we'll be opening up to something. Alright, let's stick with the other. Ah, here we go. Alright. Just gotta Slow and steady, right? Okay. Ooh. Look at these guys, little mushroom men. Okay. I think they're friendly. They're not out to hurt us, so I'm not going to be out to hurt them. Let's light things up a little bit here. And we can throw these torches as well, in case you want to just, you know, leave one around. Keep an area lit up a little bit more. Let's go back on the offensive here. Now, a lot of you chimed in and said, hey, Goat, you know, would love to see more of the game. If you're enjoying yourself, do me a favor and do this dev a favor and hit that like button for us. It helps the video get seen by more people, and by proxy, the game itself. And who knows, maybe somebody finds out about this game and wish lists it, or says, hey, I wanna jump into that right now. It's really hard being an indie dev, so the more we can do to help these folks out. Now let's grab that, and we'll keep going. Now, as you're aware, we've completed all of our quests, except for the fossils at the top there. I'm sure we can nail that one still. This area is getting more interesting with the kobolds, and I'm wondering if they have a clubhouse nearby that we can rob, because that's a fun thing to do in this game as well. But the axe is working really, really well. Loving that. All right, we've got some interesting shrubbery in the area, that's for sure. Ooh, look at this, some frogs. All right, we have definitely gone deeper than I normally have in the caves. This is a very different looking biome. Love seeing it. Yeah, so the turkey overall, it was quite juicy and very enjoyable. We also had ham and a normal turkey. The thing about the Cajun turkey is that it definitely had a spice profile to it. Now these look like a differently colored slime, don't they? A little bit? Maybe they're not. More of a swampy. Oh, spiders. All right. You know, usually I encounter spiders when we're getting bum rushed. Once we've called the escape pod. I don't know that I've encountered them organically, so I like what I'm seeing here. Hopefully we find some rare stuff. Oh no, this is an interesting look, isn't it? I expected spiders. I'll take bats, though. Rockbiter over here. Makes me think of Never-Ending Story every time we run into that guy. Alright. Let's grab all this copper. Here's some fossils. Okay. So we've nailed all 3 quests now, which is great. I was still hoping to run into a Cobalt Camp so that we could steal their treasure chests. Usually they have some... Oh, here's some kobolds again. Alright, let's see what we got. There's a spider. Boy, that armor is really doing the trick, you know. These guys are only doing 1 damage at a time. I wonder if we can break this. Ooh, we can. I don't know what we can do with that stuff, but I'm sure there's something. Okay. Let's have some mushrooms real quick here. And we're going to keep going northeast. We are taking a little bit more damage. But I'm okay with that so far. Okay, so the web slows us down and gives us damage over time. Ouchie. Guy's not messing around with that big bone. Yeah, I'd really rather not get hit with the web shot again. There we go. Oh, we might as well grab the copper ore. Why not? Maybe just a quick taste. Hey, cheers to you, by the way. I'm out here with the dark roast again. Hope you've got something good going in your cup. Wow. A whole pickaxe? Well, let's just see what kind it is. A rusty pickaxe. All right. Oh, this doesn't look great. What's happening? Oh, we took them out. Good. That's a very ominous sound. Would you agree? Okay, do we have toxic slimes now? Maybe that's what that's all about. There's a normal slime. Ooh, this is a new guy. Oh god, okay. I don't know that I want to fight a ton of them at 9 damage a time. Oof. Alright, we're gonna back up a little bit. Let's take this guy out. There we go. Now let's cram some mushrooms in. And then I think what we're gonna do is call in the escape pod. This was a nice little adventure. Oh, look at all this. Oh boy. Okay, we gotta grab some of that. There's a ton of copper. All right, you know what? I want to keep going a little bit. Just a little. We got time. I don't want this recording to be too long for you. As one of you pointed out, you'd like to see more of the game, but you're not sure if the game is ready for a full series. I don't know either, you know? These early access titles, sometimes it's hard to tell how much content is there versus what's coming. If you've watched my Witchfire series, you know, we're kind of at a point where I've accomplished everything I wanted to accomplish so far with the current game state. And so we're kind of waiting on that GGU update, which originally they were talking mid-November, early December, and now it's sounding more like that could be all the way out in January. Hard to say. Just to be clear, I want them to take all of the time that they need because that game is epic and they're going to make it even better for us. So, gosh, if it takes till February, go ahead. There's plenty of games to be played. Plenty. I apologize in advance to your wish lists. We've got plenty more games to show off in 2023. And beyond. This show will just keep going. Should we grab more fossils? Of course we should. Of course. Oh, you know what? we are running out of room, folks. So, I think this is where we call in our pod and we say, hey, pod, why don't you take us away? Let's do it. I know we're a little bit late on eating the mushrooms, but there's always time for a mushroom. Oh my, okay. They sent in the spiders. But would you willingly go up against a dude wearing this mask? I wouldn't. I wouldn't do it. All right, we're gonna make it. We've gotten very powerful. We've got the right gear. Perfect. It's a nice little run. All right, so we got some gold rewards, and then we've got challenge rewards. Let's return and see what we got. Okay. All right, so we've got a glow potion. Oh, that's right. You know what? Way late in the game to announce this, but we have glow potions now, and I forgot to use it. Next time, we're going to show off the glow potion. If you've hung out here before, you already know. The goat sometimes forgets. Now we're going to run up to the bank real quick here. I've purchased another vault space, which comes in very, very handy. And we're simply just going to go across our inventory, and we're going to fill the vault. Helmet cap. Nice. That's a big one. Spider eggs. The rusty pickaxe, which I don't think I'm even gonna save that. Yeah, that's not worth the space. So we'll be selling that. Let's take a gander down here. This is the apothecary that makes the various potions. That's how I acquired the glow potion. And I just want to see if he's got anything new. It doesn't appear so. Now, eventually, we'll go ahead with the crossbow. But you got to admit, what we're using right now is working pretty well. I'm going to go ahead and sell the rusty pickaxe. It's not even worth anything. 0. Okay, well, you know what? That's appropriate. I don't hate him for that. Hey, folks. Thanks for hanging out for more Below the Stone. We're definitely going to keep jumping in. I think this game is addictive. I want to see what else is lurking down there in the caves. And I'd imagine over time we're probably going to find some gear that will maybe act as some kind of a divining rod, or who knows. Maybe at some point we'll be able to start at further points in the cave as they add more quality of life options. If they don't, if they don't exist already, they might. I've only gotten so far. And we'll just keep looking for more and more juicy ore. Hey, have a great rest of your day. Let's do this again sometime. We'll get together, we'll play a roguelike or a roguelite because that's what we do every time. And you know what else? We'll give away a video game at least once a week, because those are a lot of fun to do. Take care. We'll see you again soon.